why Texas should create a law to enforce the usage of helmet and gear in the state of Texas when riding a motorcycle. Questions that have gotten earlier. Why do people don't want to wear a helmet? Any suggestions?
They look cool.
Exactly. They want to look cool. They want to wear the mohawk look. So they want to look cool, right? We can't just have coolness around here. We have to have protection. They also don't want to wear it because it's against the free will of riding. The way they want to ride should not be regulated by law enforcement. So today I will be speaking about why we should wear it, why you should wear a helmet, why you should gear up, and also how it lowers your insurance. So the other reasons they don't want to wear helmets is because people don't want to finish riding their motorcycle, go into the store, go to work with a helmet. That is another reason why they don't want to carry their helmet around. Reasons you should wear your helmet. This styrofoam protective line will protect your head from brain damage. Make sure you clip it on once you ride the motorcycle. I would suggest the driver and the passenger to both wear a helmet. I have a guest speaker here who is actually a passenger, Cindy Jo, and she can talk to us and explain to us what was her experiment with the motorcycle ride.
Hello everybody. I would like to talk to y'all today about what exactly happened when I was on a motorcycle. I hadn't seen my friend in a long time, and he has a motorcycle, so I get on the back of his bike, and of course he's never used to somebody getting on the back of his bike, so he didn't have an extra helmet for me. I didn't wear a helmet that night. We were going northbound on a residential street in a very good neighborhood when a drunk driver decided that he wanted to make a left turn. Now, since we're little kids, they teach us how to cross the street and only look for cars when we're crossing the street. They never really teach us to be aware of motorcycles at all times. So, as we're going northbound, crossing an intersection, this drunk driver didn't notice that there was a motorcycle heading straight towards him. So, an impact happens, and my friend, who did have it on my own, was hit blunt force. He broke his shoulder blade in half, and I was pinned under the bike and dragged for about 20 feet. Being dragged for about 20 feet without a helmet on was an experience that I will never forget. I have had so many issues with my bike after that. I was in a wheelchair for 8 months because I had actually burned off my right leg. As you can see, on my right leg, there's a scar. I had my bone exposed for 4 months because it was a 3rd-degree burn all the way down to the bone. All of my nerve endings were burned off, and I still don't feel most of my leg. It is still very difficult for me to walk around, and the pain still shoots all the way from the leg up to my thigh and down to my toes. In regards to not wearing that helmet that night, I actually lost big gaps in my memory. Having had a concussion done through the blunt force of an entire car dragging me for 20 feet on the ground caused my brain to be jostled around a bit, a little too much, and caused parts of my brain to be bruised to the extent where I don't recall much of my first year of university, or my second year, or my 3rd year. So going into my senior year of university, without remembering most of what I had already studied, was a very difficult task for me, considering my university also was not very handicap friendly. I was able to finish my 4 years, but to this day it is still very difficult for me to remember half of what my experience was. I don't want anybody else in this room or in this world to have the experience of not remembering half of their past. I also don't want anybody to not have the experience of being able to live into their future. Recently, this past week, my nephew, who also is an avid bike rider, was hit full-blown by an SUV while he was riding a motorcycle, and he did not have his helmet on. The impact killed him almost instantly, for she was in a car that was behind him. So don't do that to your parents or your family, and don't do that to yourself, because maybe I'll look a little dorky riding around, but at least I'll be alive.
Thank you, Cindy. You're welcome. As you see, her story is related to many of the other families that have bike riders, or maybe not even your family, but probably you're the driver that hits that person. Please don't let this advance more. Now I'm going to show you different types of helmets that you could use. This is a regular, like a training helmet, but the best one to use is the one that has a shield in front. The clear glass or the plastic. Make sure it's at least 3/4 thick. The reason being, when you're driving a motorcycle, or even if you're in the passenger seat, I know all of us have friends that drive motorcycles and they invite us. The reason being, if you're on the passenger or the driver in the motorcycle, the truck or the car, the vehicle in front of you is driving, and there's loose gravel sometimes. And if the tire skids out a pebble, as long as it's that real small, that could break the glass of the shield. And if you imagine if you didn't even have the shield, it'll break straight through and poke you in the eye, damage your face, and worst case scenario, the driver hits them in the eye and they fall with the motorcycle, causing more damage. Now, people don't like to wear helmets because of acne, and they want to look cool. So, as you know, there are some removable styrofoams for the helmet. You can wash this and throw it in the dryer. It's washable and dryer safe. Another reason you should provide the proper gear is insurance. Insurance rates are high for motorcycle drivers, and sometimes that doesn't even cover the passenger. As my friend here, Cindy, she was a passenger. She was not covered under the insurance, and she had to pay most of her expenses. The person that hit them, where was he? So you gotta make sure you're insured, and for the everybody knows on the insurance why the insurance rates on motorcycles are so high. Because as soon as you get on the motorcycle, that is a safety hazard. Pause. What's the word I'm looking for? As you know, vehicles such as trucks, SUVs, and cars, they have a bigger body build. You're able to see them when you're driving. But when you see a motorcycle, it's smaller, and to your eye, it looks like it's driving faster. But in reality, it's probably going the same speed as you are. But since they don't have the bigger body build, it's easier to hit them as well, and it's easier for them to lose their balance and slide. You do not want to get scars, burns, and worst case scenario without a helmet, you could get brain damage.
Okay.
So the way to reduce your insurance is to gear up. Wear a helmet, wear your gear. And this would also prevent everybody, even the passengers, to reduce the rate of the high price for motorcycle riders insurance, including us as people that don't drive the motorcycles because we hit them. And what happens to the hospital bills? Who pays them? Us taxpayers, if not the insurance would. So this is what I would recommend to all of us to go vote for the Texas law to be passed on wearing your gear. Wear a helmet. Just as we wear seatbelts in a car. Why do we wear seatbelts? Everybody has to wear them now, not just the